Wait, GameStop is buying and selling graded cards now? I think we can all imagine how that's going to go.
Okay. I'll go 275. That's the best I can do.
Now.
Hey everybody, what's up from Pokemon Classics, reminding you that the classics never go out of style. Today we're breaking down the top 5 news stories in Pokemon, along with some of my own personal thoughts and commentary on each one. That is my goal on this channel, after all, is to keep you all informed whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly. Also, as is tradition on this series, don't forget to stick around to the end of the video for my top 5 content recommendations. These are some of the best PokeTuber videos of the month, and I highly encourage you to give each and every one a watch. Anyway, let's dive into our first story. First up, we have some news regarding print runs and modern Pokemon sets, which have absolutely shaken up both the Japanese and the English markets. First, let's talk about the Japanese reprint of Scarlet and Violet 151. When Japanese 151 was first released in June of 2023, the set was extremely popular, so much so that boxes were printed to order and distributed through a lottery-based system. Not only was this one of the most popular Pokemon sets in recent memory, but it also introduced the Master Ball Reverse Holo gimmick, providing further chase for collectors. Anyway, after steady price gains and limited availability, Pokemon Japan announced a reprint and restock of Japanese 151 and other recent sets which could be purchased without restrictions, the first unimpeded release since 2020. Naturally, this news was celebrated by fans and collectors, while also seeing prices of 151 boxes take a significant nosedive. At one point, boxes had fallen to under $60 per box for online orders. However, amidst strong demand and shifting prices from suppliers, many collectors and investors would find their orders canceled and refunded, as stores experienced smaller allocations and higher prices than initially quoted. Some stores even fulfilled their orders at a loss, rather than risk upsetting their customers. Anyway, it's not entirely surprising given the popularity of 151, but still pretty wild to see all this product be absorbed so quickly and chaotically. Continuing our sealed product news, a number of Sword and Shield booster boxes have been drawing attention after finally selling out on the Pokemon Center website. About a month ago, Astral Radiance, which originally debuted on May 27, 2022, surprised the market by selling out of booster boxes faster and more unceremoniously than most observers were expecting. Generally, when booster boxes go out of stock on the Pokemon Center website, the secondary market takes notice and prices trend upwards. Astral Radiance was no different, jumping from about $145 per box to about $175 per box. Since then, a number of other Sword and Shield sets have followed suit, including Fusion Strike, Lost Origin, and most recently, Brilliant Stars. Just like Astral Radiance, each of these boxes have also seen a corresponding bump in price on the secondary market, with Fusion Strike going from about $190 to $240, Lost Origin increasing from about $180 to $210, and Brilliant Stars so far moving from about $170 to $180. Personally, I don't follow modern Pokemon as much as I should, but I have to admit, Modern has been performing really well, and it's not just booster boxes. A number of alternate art rares have been blasting off recently too. Now, there are some amazing artworks in modern Pokemon, and although I personally prefer vintage, I can't deny beauty when I see it. And out of all the modern alt arts out there, the Lugia V from Silver Tempest has got to be my personal favorite. It kind of reminds me of the Shining Gyarados from Neo Revelation, with a radiant, glowing Pokemon towering over an unexpected sailor. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know what you think the future holds for the Sword and Shield era, and which alternate art rare is your personal favorite. Let me know down in the comments below. Next up, we have an ingenious piece of marketing for Pokemon Sleep. Back on April 1st, April Fool's Day, the Pokemon Company launched an advertisement on their YouTube channel covering the first annual Pokemon Sleep World Championship Tournament. The video featured play-by-play commentary of competitors sleeping, with references to different Pokemon along the way. Now obviously, this was intended as a joke, but it was also an effective way for the Pokemon Company to market the Pokemon Sleep app to a broader audience while showcasing some of its features. Admittedly, I've never used the Pokemon Sleep app, but from what I've gathered, it's a downloadable app that remains running while you sleep, tracking and recording various analytics about your sleep habits and sleep patterns. You're supposed to leave your phone on your bed or use the Go Plus, both of which use sounds and movements to measure the amount of sleep and the quality of sleep you get each night. Apparently, you can view sleep graphs and charts and even play back sounds you made during the night, both of which sound a little bit too dystopian for me. Maybe that's just me, but I don't really want my phone spying on me while I'm sleeping. I'm sure it does plenty of that already when I'm awake. Anyway, these sleep metrics contribute to in-app Pokemon encounters, which you collect by feeding and using other items. Again, I don't have all the details, but what I can say is it was really fun seeing Pokemon invest so heavily into an April Fool's joke and take a self-deprecating approach to its well-known competitive tournament structures. Personally, I'm not at all interested in Pokemon Sleep, but this video definitely made me want to learn more about the app, and to me, that's gotta be a marketing win for the Pokemon company. Do any of you use the Pokemon Sleep app? And if so, let me know what you think and if it has any hidden benefit that I might have missed. This next story is a strange one, but engineers over at Toyota have been working on designing and building a real-life Miraidon motorcycle. Now, Miraidon is one of the newest Pokemon in the Scarlet and Violet games and serves as a primary mode of transportation for trainers. Basically, it's a Pokemon that also doubles as a bike that trainers ride or fly throughout the game. On March 5th, a concept sketch was posted to Toyota's Twitter, or X account, with Miraidon's in-game rideability serving as an inspiration for this motorcycle's design. Interestingly, a development team at Toyota decided to bring the sketch to life, despite Toyota not being an active manufacturer of motorcycles at all. This project became known as the Toyota Engineering Society Miraidon Project and was recently unveiled to the public on March 15th. Although the bike is only a prototype, select visitors have been welcome to see the bike in person, and in some cases, even sit in the rider's seat. The full process of making the bike haven't been fully revealed, but the Japanese Pokemon YouTube channel has provided some behind-the-scenes photos and footage documenting the process. Frankly, I find the engineering very impressive, from the glowing eyes to the game-accurate handholds, and even the enclosed wheel well design with openings at the bottom for the tires to make physical contact with the ground. Now, I won't be trading my motorcycle in anytime soon, but projects like these are further evidence of the far-reaching passions and relevance that Pokemon has to so many out there across the globe. What do you guys think of the Miraidon motorcycle? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Finally, we'll wrap up this week's news with an unexpected new marketplace for buying and selling graded Pokemon cards. Recently, GameStop, one of the biggest retail chains for buying and selling video games, announced that they would begin buying and selling graded Pokemon singles at their physical stores. Now, GameStop isn't entirely new to Pokemon and has previously sold sealed packs and products, but the graded card market is an entirely different animal with a unique set of challenges and opportunities. A number of community members have already expressed concern over GameStop's ability to accurately authenticate cards and to track market values. Others have also criticized GameStop's low trade-in values for video games, speculating that the stores would seek to take advantage of uneducated customers. According to PokeBeach, GameStop will initially only be dealing in PSA cards graded near mint to mint 8 or higher, with a max value of $500. It seems that this policy is in place to help employees and managers acclimate to this new system, but the company intends to expand to other grading companies and values over time. The article even quoted one GameStop manager explaining the rationale for this change in policy. GameStop is also planning on buying and selling raw singles, beginning with holos and reverse holos, with tentative plans to expand more broadly. This has also led some to speculate that GameStop might begin hosting Pokemon League activities in the future, which does have some precedent. Some GameStop locations have been hosting Pokemon Trade and Play events, which were backed by the Pokemon Company International with marketing materials and promo cards. Anyway, this is an interesting development that could offer more in-person accessibility to a number of younger players and collectors out there, but on the other hand, it could also disrupt an already fragile ecosystem for existing game stores and sales platforms. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Let me know what you think about GameStop's plans down in the comments below. Anyway, guys, before I unveil my top 5 videos of the month, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. I put hours and hours into each and every one of these videos, and your support goes a long way in keeping me motivated and staying on the grind with these videos. But anyway, I truly appreciate you all for watching, so let's roll into the top 5. First on this week's top 5 list is a video from one of my favorite YouTube channels, Ruby Retro. In this episode, we're transported back to the early days of Pokemon's competitive play for a look at how Wizards of the Coast implemented the first set rotation and the impact it had on the game. Shortly after the release of Neo Genesis, Wizards of the Coast implemented a new competitive format to bring balance to deck building and take Pokemon in a more balanced direction. This included rotating out older sets like Base Set, Jungle Set, Fossil Set, and Base Set 2, making the first official rotation for the Pokemon TCG. Personally, I was a player during this era of Pokemon, so I find historical videos like this fascinating, and there are none better out there than those made by Ruby Retro. If you also enjoy Pokemon history, definitely check this one out. Next up is a recent livestream by okJLUV that has had everyone talking about Pokemon investing. After posting a video warning about some of the more outlandish claims about Pokemon investing, okJLUV hosted a roundtable with several Pokemon influencers, investors, and commentators to discuss the validity of Pokemon investing. Overall, it was an entertaining and interesting watch with some great points made from varying perspectives on the Pokemon market. The stream lasted for about 4 hours, so chances are you're bound to find some highlights in there. If you find yourself intrigued with the broader Pokemon market, then this is one you don't want to miss. This next video is a sort of sequel, but recently Knowledge Cards hosted the CEO of PSA Grading, Nat Turner, for a live stream Q&A on some recent updates over at PSA. Among the topics of discussion were PSA's acquisition of the eBay Vault, PSA's new collector magazine, changes to PSA's submission interface, and PSA's policy stance on card cleaning. For anyone interested in graded slabs, it's always interesting to get a look behind the scenes, and to that end, this interview delivered. Shout out to PK for hosting this stream, and to Nat for taking the time to talk specifically to us Pokemon collectors. I'd encourage you all to go check it out on PK's channel. This next video is a bit controversial, but recently Dagreenshiz revealed his newest collection acquisition, a Creatures Deck Rocket Zapdos graded Gem Mint 10 by Tag Grading Company. For those of you unfamiliar, Tag is a newer grading company with some innovative approaches to grading, including a variety of AI scanning and tracking tools meant to add more objectivity and consistency to grading. However, as we find out later in the video, this Rocket Zapdos had previously been dented after cracking and regrading with several other grading companies. In fact, it was a CGC 7.5 before receiving the Tag 10, and upon disclosing this publicly on his YouTube channel, the card was deactivated by Tag. Dagreenshiz has agreed to have it regraded by Tag and seems to be taking it well, but it has left a lot of community members questioning the accuracy of AI and technology in the future of grading. Go watch it for yourself, and don't forget to weigh in with your thoughts down in the comments. Finally, I wanted to highlight this vendor POV video from TheBulbaStore. Vendor POV videos have been on fire across YouTube lately, and TheBulbaStores are some of my favorites. This particular video was filmed at the Los Angeles Collecticon and features a mix of vintage and modern cards, including a massive deal on a black label Moonbreon. For those of you who have never been to a card show before or are planning on visiting one in the future, this video will give you a good idea of what to expect. They're a lot of fun, and most vendors, like TheBulbaStore, are knowledgeable, friendly, and transparent. Definitely go check this one out. Well guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Breaking News, where we break down some of the most important Pokemon news stories each and every month. Let me know your thoughts on these stories down in the comments below, and if there are any major news stories that I missed, definitely send them my way. Anyway guys, I'm Pokemon Classics, reminding you that the classics never go out of style. Thanks for spending your time with me today, and we'll see y'all with the next video. Bye everybody!